What is morally okay but illegal? Paying someone else's parking meter. That's illegal. Stealing food from a supermarket's garbage container. Edit. Thanks for all the approval. For clarification, I live in Germany. To be honest, I don't know if it is illegal now, but some years ago it was definitely. My high school girlfriend and I used to go dumpster diving at a pizza place near her house. Pirating shoot that isn't being sold anymore. IWWNT full circle on this earlier in the year. Downloading games and other media that have been abandoned by its creator owner. How dare you? These people selling original discs on eBay for hundreds of dollars bought them in the first place with sole intention of reselling over 20 years later. You are discouraging them from future purchases and the developers will starve. I am kidding. But I have read once a very similar and equally stupid reasoning. Unmarried women to go fishing alone on Sundays in Montana. That's weirdly specific for a law. Where I live in regular suburbs you can't just put up more than one shed in a backyard. What if you keep expanding the shed, feeding the homeless in some places? What the hell? Where I live, it's illegal to name a pig Napoleon. Literally George Orwell Animal Farm. In some places in the U.S., helping the homeless, buying liquor on Sundays in many parts of the U.S. They're called blue laws and they're still on the books in many U.S. states and counties. Minnesota was on Sundays except 3. That picture of Putin. You mean that wide-stretched version of him? Distilling your own alcohol. Without a permit. I can grow all the stuff myself. Legally. I can make booze up to a certain strength. Legally. But I can't legally heat it up and let it cool down in order to improve the flavor and alcohol content. Even if my only goal is to drink it myself. Unless someone tells me it's okay. I'm not saying I want to make my own bathtub moonshine. But I think that law's there in part so that amateur distillers don't get methanol poisoning. Handling a salmon under suspicious circumstances while in England. It would be cool if supermarkets donate the food to whoever signed some papers letting them know the risks of eating the food to make sure they don't get lawsuits or sued because the amount of food they throw out is outrageous. In many cases, it's not about quality, but freshness. Expiration dates are absolutely just corporate garbage. Buying beer at 6 in the morning. I work nights, and sometimes I'd like to go pick up a sixer after a long shift, but I can't because of these puritanical laws in this country. Edit. To those asking, yes, I can and do buy beer ahead of time, but that's not the point of the thread. Also I live in America, and the laws here vary drastically not only state to state, but county to county even. I don't want to get too specific. But where I live alcohol sales are prohibited from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. The number of times I've gotten horrible judgmental looks at 8 a.m. holding a 6-pack in the checkout line at Walmart. Listen y'all, I got off at 6:30 a.m. Building something to live in on your own property without paying some random person for it. The issue isn't that people build shelter for themselves. A doctor euthanizing a person that is mentally stable, who has a terminal or quick progressing illness. Oregon legalized it. Having sex with a consenting adult for money. Selling is legal. Freaking is legal. Reverse cowgirl in the great state of Alabama. Reason being is because you never turn your back on family. Picking up hitchhikers. Teachers making copies of copyrighted material without publisher approval. In my country we have a lot of rules about that. But teachers are actually safe with copies. In Massachusetts you can duel your friend to the death on Sundays but only if the governor is present to observe. Edit. Tie for all the great feedback. For those curious I have already accepted a challenge and just ask that someone working for the governor reach out to me so we can coordinate. Tie update. Still haven't heard from anyone at the governor's office. Can someone make this happen? So in theory, I could drag that beach janitor Baker's home in Swampscott and duel with her on his lawn. In many states. Showing an adopted person their own original birth certificate, or telling them who their biological family is. Being gay in some countries. One country in all of Africa, one country in all of Asia. Handful of countries in Europe and the West protect LGBT equality. Out of like hundreds. So most countries. Sleeping on the park bench while not having a home. Add to this discreetly peeing on public because you don't have access to a toilet. Rule of thumb. If you see somebody steal baby formula, and I cannot emphasize this enough, You did not see them steal baby formula. Edit. Thanks for the reward, but if you care considering buying a reward for my comment, use that money towards helping someone who is struggling. I had to do this a very long time ago when I was young and had my first child. Literally nobody ever said anything. Defending yourself from police brutality. Psychedelics. Came here to say this. Prostitution. Somehow it's illegal until you record it. In my country, prostitution and brothels are technically not illegal. Buying sex is illegal. Smoking weed, along with most controlled substances, consensual, ethically practiced prostitution, like the Institute of Prostitution in its current form, needs an overhaul. But two people meeting, deciding on a fair price for services rendered, and one party paying another party for consenting sexual acts, while all parties take necessary precautions to have safe sex, not at all ethically problematic. Second oldest profession in the books. A financial and emotional boon for the world. So, I have seen the question, what's the first oldest profession in this thread? Paying for someone else's expired parking meter. Euthanasia. Feeding birds on your balcony. This is illegal? I'm curious. Where and why? Stopping companies from destroying the environment. Keeping up with traffic so you don't cause an accident. In some states you get a ticket for going too slow and obstructing traffic. Hell, here in Las Vegas. Poorer countries breaking patents to provide affordable medications. Angle grinder man in the UK. Head cut the wheel boots off people's cars with a gas-powered quick cut grinder while dressed as a superhero. Flashing your lights to warn other vehicles that a cop is nearby. Over here that's the recognized signal for your high beams are on. You duck. Stealing an animal that is being abused, neglected. If that was a thing, people could easily abuse that. Giving water to illegal immigrants heading for the U.S. Dumping and uploading old game cartridges online. The original publishers don't sell them anymore. And if we don't preserve them in a digital archive, they're gonna be gone forever at some point. There should be laws letting this happen. We can't just watch our favorite games literally disappear and not do anything about it. Nintendo also actively takes down websites that archive games they haven't sold for 20 freaking years. Wearing high heels without a permit in Carmel. https://www.codapublishing.com ca Carmel by CHTML Carmel 08/Carmel 0844. HTML. Victimless crimes. https://en. Wikipedia. Org wiki victimless crime. With the sole exception of possession of child porn. I agree. Creating a market for that filth is not a victimless crime in my eyes. Collecting rain in barrels. Depending on the state here in the US of A. Pirating Adobe. There is absolutely no reason they should charge monthly for one piece of software over a one-time purchase. Collecting rainwater. It's literally falling all around us, but you have to pay a company to pump it through your house or get it bottled. Medically assisted death. It's not illegal everywhere, but it's definitely illegal a good number of places around the world. Jaywalking. If you assault someone who breaks into your house and steals things in front of you, you'll get arrested if you do that. Where do you live? I'm allowed to shoot the home intruder where I live. Non-violently protesting illegal wars and torture. Hurting animal abusers. Giving food and water to people who have crossed the border in the desert. Killing someone you caught molesting, raping a child. Being a Winnie the Pooh fan in China. Drugs, as long as you're not hurting anyone. A 19-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. 15-year-olds trick-or-treating in Chesapeake, VA. Paying someone else's parking meter before they are written a ticket. Being an atheist in some countries. In other words, not following an organized religion is a crime in those countries.